Hi, my name is Robin, and I'm just kind of doing a little vlog about my life as a recovering addict. I've been clean since August the 28th this year, and I just learning new ways to do things so that I can stay sober and clean and happy, and make it through the craziness that led me to this journey. I mean, I've been struggling with meth for 30 years, give or take. I was an IV user on top of it. My relationship with my kids, I couldn't take care of them when I was an active user. So it ended up as my parents taking care of my children, and even my ex-in-laws, well, my kids' dad's parents also helped a lot. But I was just trying to get like a rundown of my life and what led me up to this point. And I think it's interesting because I have changed a lot in just the little bit of time that I've been clean and sober. And believe me, when I say this, I have my addiction. I've been in many drug treatments, and none of them ever worked. Not once did any of those places. And I'm not saying that all of them are bad or that they're no good. They helped some people. But I think it's just when it's, what was effective for me was hitting my total rock bottom. I mean, I had many rock bottoms. Believe me, I was in an abusive relationship, been stabbed, been shot, all that from him. And he was also this, an IV, meth user. He excluded me from my family. I lived in homeless camps in Des Moines, Iowa. And he beat me all the time. It was the worst thing ever that I'd ever experienced. Never in my life had I ever been beat so bad. I mean, I would be in puddles of blood when he was done. I don't know how I survived, but I did survive it. I mean, I would get a chance to run, and I would run. And it took multiple times to even do that part. But I was using drugs before him, mainly to numb my pains because I lost my mom and dad, and my kids, they had, they were gone. My oldest son, he, pretty much my mom and dad raised him, and my daughter and my other son, Steven, but he ended up growing up, going to college, and making something of himself, which I'm so proud of him. And then my son Steven, he ended up getting married and having my two grandbabies, my two grandsons, and my daughter, my first daughter. She also finally found a really great guy, and she got married. And now I have a fourth daughter named Chloe. But she doesn't even know me to this day because her dad had took her from had VHS on me, and so him and his girlfriend or wife, I don't know what she is, but they end up getting my rights terminated because I couldn't have a day sober just to pass a UA. However, I've never even got to the chance to ever see Chloe. I mean, I raised her first 3 years of her life. Then after that, I've never seen her since. Her stepmom and, well, her real dad died, but her stepmom now takes care of her. And believe me, I have such regret. Like, I really wish that I can meet Chloe and see her again, but I probably won't. And I'm hoping I'll still be alive by the time she turns 18. Like, she's only 12 right now, but this is just being realistic, you know what I mean? But I do know that my older children, like, there's a 14-year difference between my daughter and her, and the age difference. But you know, pretty much it was like you know, I know that they will hopefully tell Chloe about my, you know, I really did love her. I just had a bad addiction. I don't knock no one down. I don't, you know, that's not me. I'm not like that. I mean, I have a lot of anger build up in me for things with other people's in my life, but I try not to reflect on that so much, you know, anymore in my life. But anyhow, back to my story. So, I have been in and out of treatment. Nothing ever really helped. But this time around, it was a little different. I was doing pretty good. I had gotten me a place, got off the streets, and then housing people came into my home and found rigs, needles, but it was mainly because, which now I have like tons of pills and medicine, but I found out I have diabetes, and they assumed I was doing drugs. They didn't they didn't take none of it to have it, nothing like that. They just wanted to have me out of there because I had people in and out, which I can say that was wrong for all that. But anyways, lost my place, and then what came along to this point, how I've gotten sober this time was, I was, you know, staying with friends, or supposedly I thought were friends, but they were not my friends. And they had, but I just ended up in this homeless camp again, and I was sick. I was having fevers. I was barely couldn't breathe or anything. I was getting fluids around my lungs or by my heart or something. I can't quite remember what it was. But anyways, long story short, my, you know, family, I was like trying to, you know, stay in touch with them. And one day I woke up and I was really sick. I was sleeping in this tent. Like, I was sleeping on the ground, no blankets, nothing. And I was pissing and shitting on myself, which is so embarrassing, but it's true. And what happened was, I was like, I'm going to go to the hospital. And I was walking, and I didn't make it obviously far because I fell in a ditch, and I was trying to gasp for air. And I was getting ready to leave this world, and I just prayed, and I said, God, please help me. Please, whatever you do, like, I don't want this life no more. I don't want it. I don't need it. I want to be with my kids. I want to watch these milestones of them all getting married and having babies, you know. And I don't, my two grandsons, oh my God, which they're just freaking adorable. They're 3 and 2, but I love them so much. And I want Wesley and Wyatt to know, like, they mean the world to me. And, like, I just want to be the best grandmother ever for them and give them something that maybe I just didn't give my kids, the best of me. So I want to make sure, even with future grandchildren, and I tell this to my kids that don't have kids yet, you know, I'm going to love your kid just as much as I loved you. But they're going to get the sober me. Unfortunately, my kids didn't get to have the sober me, but the grandbabies will get to have the sober me. And I wanted them to know that. But I asked God just to come on, please help me. And I got lucky, just pure luck, that one of my kids' school friends helped me, and he got 911 to me. And by the time they were coming to get me, I was very much almost to my death. And I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. I had to get better. I was so weak. I couldn't walk. I was on oxygen. I had tons of pills that they had me on. It was just a lot of shit. It was kind of crazy, But anyways, I'm really lucky, and I wanted to I wanted to do something different in my life because everything else had never worked for me. And so while I was in the hospital, it was easier for me to quit smoking cigarettes while I was in the hospital. Plus, I realized that my lungs were probably getting to the point where they were weak. You know what I mean? And also, boy, I look rough. That's okay. But also, I just wanted to mend everything that had with my family. I especially my kids. I've had, a brother of mine pass away. And then I had another brother that did 25 years in prison that just recently just got out. So really, I had lost a lot of, my parents, I lost them. You know what I'm saying? I lost a lot of people. But I'm really, really proud of myself because I was down and determined. But if it wasn't for my children, I would not be here today. That's for sure. My son, he came to Des Moines. That's where I was at. I was in the hospital. And when I left the hospital, my one son, which lives in Des Moines, he came and stayed with me at a hotel. And then my daughter, she also lived in Des Moines, so, helping me, making sure I was being taken care of, that they get me in the, get me up, walking. Even my daughter-in-law had to even help me get to the bathroom and wipe my butt for me. Because that's how bad it was, how weak and how drained my whole body was. I had a lot to do to recover. Walking, I was using a walker. All kinds of crazy stuff. And having a lot of pills to take that my body really needed to get used to. So it was a lot for me, you know what I mean? And, it was kind of like, just like this, I'm lucky. Because then my oldest son comes from North Dakota and comes down to Iowa and he says, Mom, you're coming back with me. You come stay with us and we'll figure some stuff out for you. We'll figure it out. And that's where I've been. And it changed me. Because this time around, it's not about just escaping or getting away from somebody or anything like that. This is about my life. And he told me, Mom, you look so old now. Just even from 5 years ago, you've aged a lot. And I'm afraid, that you're not going to make it. That's sad. To hear your kids say that. And he said, Mom, you're all I got. I don't want you to leave me. And I'm just seeing my grown son cry and tell me that he needed me. Well, thank God I took my pill. It'd be really bad right now. Sorry. And then I said, help me. I need help. And he's been my rock. Him and his partner, Casey, they have been my rock. I mean, there's days I struggle. I really do. But I mean, I even am going back to school. I ever thought, no, I've never thought in my whole freaking life that I would be going back to school to just try to get an education, because my whole life I didn't even give a fuck about an education. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even care. But this time around, it was kind of like I hit my rock bottom. I hit my rock bottom. And now I'm working on healthy relationships with my family. Even my niece, that I've really never got a relationship, and now that she's in my life, that is wonderful. I'm so freaking excited about that. Like, Kaylee is just, she's, I love her. She's, man, she has a godly heart. She's just a good girl, and I'm proud of her. I'm glad that she has, done good in her life as well. But anyways, but my daughter has mentioned me, and she's like, Mom, why don't you just put your story out there and kind of let people see your daily routines and your activities and watch your journey of being sober. And you never know, people might really like it. And I was like, Karen, I don't think nobody really give a shit in regards to my recovery. But I wanted to just kind of give that rundown with you guys, like that I am a prime example of being one of those women that's had domestic issues, like severe domestic issues, separation problems with my family, and not having, not having my parents no more, or losing a brother, and then having another brother go away to prison, all because of people that you hung out with together, and then making bad choices. And I've lost so many friends from drugs. And I don't know. I don't want that life no more. And it's weird. I mean, I struggle. I'm thinking all the time, like, I want to get fucking high. But thank God I'm not in Des Moines, Iowa. And people are serious when they say you need to change people in places and things. And because if you stick around those kind of people, you'll continually go back to your same patterns of, doing the drugs and all this and that. And they're right, because I know when I've gotten out of treatment, I would go right back to the same area, to the same people, in the same situations, and go right back to the drugs. But I don't know. Something's different in my heart. I think it was mainly because I was close to death. My job here is not finished. But I'm going to try to share as much as I can with you guys on my daily struggles and stuff. I don't know how I do this. I'm just trying. This is my first time. If any of you like it, that's great. If you don't, I understand. I don't know how to really put stuff out there. I don't know how to edit. I don't know none of that stuff. But I'll just keep you guys informed, and hopefully I'm successful. And hopefully, you guys will get to see a new person. And that's what all I want to do is I kind of just want to share that. I mean, I look at myself right now, and I tell you, I look rough. Never thought I would look like this ever in my whole life. I'm overweight. I've got some grays. And my skin looks rough, but I'm trying. So I hope this is a successful thing. And maybe it's not, but we hope so. So I'm gonna say bye, and let's go on this journey together. Thanks.